Hello, Reds fans. Welcome to the YNWA Transfer News Channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for your daily latest news.
Hugo Ekitike achieves childhood dream as Liverpool star gets rewarded. Hugo Ekitike described his maiden France goal as a childhood dream, as the Liverpool star netted in his country's 4-0 win over Ukraine. The Liverpool striker was introduced for the final 23 minutes of the World Cup qualifier at the Parc des Princes on Thursday and produced a sensational cameo that earned rave reviews in France. Ekitike operated from a left-wing role and caused repeated issues with his direct dribbling in the wide areas. Brentford's Yarmolenko was booked for pulling the 23-year-old to the ground, while Ekitike also produced 4 shots during his brief showing. But the highlight came in the 88th minute when he swept the ball through the legs of Ukraine goalkeeper Anatoly Trubin to wrap up the scoring in Paris. After collecting the ball out wide, Ekitike drove inside, linked with Kylian Mbappé at the edge of the box, and then stroked his shot low and hard into the away goal. Speaking after the game, Liverpool's summer signing said he was delighted with his impact off the bench. "It's a childhood dream," Etikike told Food Mercato. "Every time I get minutes on the pitch, I try to show my abilities and that I'm there to help the team, regardless of playing time and even off the pitch. I'm happy to be rewarded. I hit the post last time, and I hit it again this time, so I'm happy." Ekitike had not earned an international cap before signing for Liverpool in July. He has now played in all of Les Blues' last 5 games and may have secured his place in the squad for next summer's World Cup. "For now, I'm keeping a cool head," he said. "I want to keep performing because I'm someone who's enjoying himself and wants to continue doing what I'm doing. We're going to keep scoring goals and contributing to victories. Of course, it's a bit special. It's a stadium I know well. Scoring my first goal for the French national team here is somewhat symbolic for me, and it feels like a victory. The coach was obviously happy for me. He showed faith in me by giving me those minutes, and I hope I repaid him. I felt he was happy, and I hope I can give him that feeling back." France's 4-0 win on Thursday guaranteed the country's place at the World Cup next summer, becoming just the second European nation to do so after England. Club chief opens door to massive Liverpool transfer. A club chief has opened the door to a massive Liverpool transfer in January. "We are now slowly approach the winter window, and the possibility of Richard Hughes dividing into the market cannot be ruled out. A club chief has opened the door to a massive Liverpool transfer in January. We are now slowly approach the winter window, and the possibility of Richard Hughes dividing into the market cannot be ruled out. Liverpool are always reluctant to enter the market at this stage of the season. They won't plan on making any deals. However, they will plan to act on potential targets if they become available or courted in the winter window. Normally, Liverpool would prefer to buy those players in the summer. But sometimes things happen and they move deals forward. This was the case with Cody Gakpo and Luis Diaz, who were both signed in the January window. This time around it could be the case for another left winger, who Liverpool have set their sights on in order to replace the now departed Diaz. Antoine Semenyo is someone very highly admired by Richard Hughes. It was the Liverpool sporting director who brought him to the Premier League while he was playing at Bristol City. Semenyo has since exploded and has become one of the best wingers in England's top flight. Now it seems like Hughes is planning for a reunion. Just as he did with Milos Kerkez in the summer window, who was also another player he brought to the Premier League and became hugely successful at Bournemouth. Semenyo is now 25 years old, and he will be wanting a big move. He's ready for the next step in his career and Liverpool is pretty much tailor-made for him. He's someone who plays with a lot of intensity. He will press high and make a lot of recoveries. At the same time he thrives in 1-versus-1 situations and can both exploit space as well as work in tight spaces, using his ability to be comfortable on both feet to his advantage. Bournemouth will not want to let him go. But they also know the reality of their situation. They will not want to stand in his way. Just like they didn't stand in Dean Huijsen's, Ilya Zabarni's or Kerkez's way in the summer. Tim Bezbatchenko, the general manager at Bournemouth, was speaking on the Business of Sport podcast when he admitted that it would be hard to keep a star player from making a dream move to a club like Liverpool. When a club like Real Madrid, Liverpool, PSG come in and they're competing for Champions League positions, who are we to say, no, you can't go, you can't fulfill your dream? He said. No, it wouldn't be like that for all clubs because not everyone is Real Madrid. But there's an opportunity and everybody wins, right? I think that's what we're trying to find, this commonality where everybody can win. This pretty much opens the door for Liverpool to sign Semenyo. It's a clear statement from a club chief that they are not going to stand in his way should he want to move to Anfield. Premier League supercomputer predicts surprise Liverpool, Man United, Newcastle and Crystal Palace final points and positions. The Reds returned to action after the international break with a home clash against Nottingham Forest. They then host PSV in the Champions League before travelling to West Ham United. They kick off December with a home game against Sunderland before a trip to Leeds United a few days later. Now a Premier League supercomputer, conducted by Casino Hawks, has forecast how likely the Reds are to get back into the title race. The forecast is a probability model, not determined by human predictions or bias. The supercomputer estimates the outcome of each remaining fixture based on a team's strength, including factors such as league position and form and betting market odds. The machine then simulates the remaining games in a season 10,000 times and constructs an average league table from the 10,000 simulations, to rule out anomalous results. Here's what it came up with. Jurgen Klopp reveals new job as former Liverpool boss confirms return. It is tingling again. Jurgen Klopp has revealed he is returning to the sidelines in a teasing video confirming his next job. The German stood down as Liverpool manager in the summer of 2024, and has been adamant ever since that he had no desire to return to coaching. The 58-year-old returned to football in January 2025 as he joined the Red Bull Group in a consultancy role as their new head of global football. Meanwhile, it was revealed last month that he had also taken up a new role with the German Football League, DFL, as he joined an expert group aimed at improving the nation's game. But Klopp has now announced his next role, revealing he will be a pundit at the 2026 FIFA World Cup in Canada, Mexico, and the United States for Magenta TV. And revealed in a video on social media on Friday morning, the former Liverpool boss could not resist teasing a return to the sidelines before the reality of his next role became clear. Many of you have always known better, he said in a voiceover alongside footage of him walking around a stadium. But I truly couldn't envision it for myself. Going back to the sideline? I don't miss anything. This is what I always thought. But now it is tingling again. Grass underneath my feet. The heated atmosphere in the stadium. And I want to be really close again. Klopp then addressed the camera as he shut down suggestions of a managerial return once more. Oh? No, not as a manager, he clarified. I am becoming a pundit for Magenta TV at the FIFA World Cup 2026. Klopp was then shown video calling German television host and journalist, Johannes B. Kerner. Hi Johannes. He started. I'm in. See you on June 11th in Mexico. Cool sentence. Except for Indiana Jones, probably nobody can say it. Meanwhile, Klopp also teased his return on the caption alongside the video, writing, Grass underfoot, stadium atmosphere, very close. Back to the sideline, I'm looking forward to it. Richard Hughes gets sensational swap deal offer. Liverpool have been offered a sensational swap deal opportunity by Real Madrid. Richard Hughes has been frustrated by the Spanish giants since his arrival at Anfield. Real Madrid have taken one of his best players away on a free deal, luring Trent Alexander-Arnold to the Spanish capital. Now they are trying to do the same with Ibrahima Konate. He has less than 1 year left on his contract, and having been in negotiations with the club for over a year, it feels like a compromise is unlikely to be reached. If there is no agreement, Konate will likely join Alexander-Arnold in Madrid and become yet another Liverpool fan favorite who left the club in the last 2 decades for the allure of the Bernabeu. Now manager of the club, Xabi Alonso was another. Before him there were Alvaro Arbeloa, Michael Owen and Steve McManaman as well. Real Madrid have also beaten Liverpool in 2 Champions League finals in 2018 and 2022 to rub further salt into the wounds of the Anfield faithful. Now, though, there is a reported transfer potentially being offered to Hughes that could benefit both sides. According to Defensa Central in Spain, Real Madrid are ready to offer a sensational swap deal to Liverpool that would involve Rodrigo joining the Reds and Alonso reuniting with Florian Wirtz. The report claims that Real Madrid are long-term admirers of Wirtz, and they would be open to doing business with Liverpool as they are keen to add the German international to Alonso's current system. In return, Madrid would even be willing to offer up Rodrigo, who is someone Liverpool have been interested in for a long time and were offered the chance to sign him but refused because of his high wage demands. The report does state that at this stage it would be unlikely for Liverpool to agree to such a proposal as they are still very keen on Wirtz to hit the ground running. However, if Wirtz continues to struggle, Liverpool's stance could change. Ultimately, this report is to be taken with a pinch of salt. The media based in Spain love to throw up hypothetical situations like this. Only recently, Dominic Szoboszlai was also spoken about as a potential player the Spanish giants could target. Alexis Mac Allister is also supposedly on Real Madrid's radar. It seems as though any Liverpool player who is highly rated ends up being linked with a move to the Bernabeu. Whether any of those moves happen is unlikely. Although Konate's ultimate free transfer to Real Madrid is becoming increasingly more likely with every day that passes without an agreement for a contract extension. And that should be the biggest concern for Liverpool fans. Mark Guehi's most likely destination named as Liverpool might have transfer alternative. Liverpool could reignite its interest in the Crystal Palace captain Mark Guehi next year, with the England ace set to be a free agent at the end of the season when his contract expires. Crystal Palace boss Oliver Glasner refused to sell Guehi in the summer when he couldn't source a replacement, but has since confirmed that the 25-year-old won't be penning new terms. That means he will either leave Selhurst Park in January or after the campaign comes to a close. On transfer deadline day, Liverpool agreed a deal to bring Guehi to Anfield. However, the plug was pulled at the last second and Onslaught's side was made to wait. Earlier this week, Crystal Palace teammate Adam Wharton admitted he felt Guehi would be gone, but the player has since performed well and remained professional, representing the South London side in the Europa Conference League. Wharton is away with England for games with Serbia and Albania this week, but Guehi has missed out on playing for Thomas Tuchel's side thanks to an injury. According to Gianluca Di Marzio, who is speaking to Ace Odds, Liverpool remains the favourite to sign Guehi in 2026. The centre-back has also been linked with Bayern Munich, Barcelona and Real Madrid. Borussia Dortmund defender Nico Schlotterbeck could be another in-demand defender next year, with Liverpool tipped to be among the clubs keeping an eye on his situation. It isn't beyond the realms of possibility that Liverpool might need to sign two centre-backs next year, with Ibrahima Konate yet to pen new terms, Virgil van Dijk now 34, and Joe Gomez having nearly left in each of the last 2 summers. Liverpool tried to bring in Mark Guehi, which also tells you that they felt they needed to strengthen that part of the team. Former Reds midfielder Igor Biskin said this week. So it's not a coincidence that they have, if there are problems, and in all honesty, there are some problems and they're conceding too many goals. They knew that or they expected that for this reason. They really wanted to sign a top-class centre-back. So that's maybe the indication that there is something that position needs to be sorted. I believe it will be sorted. In the near future, it needs to be sorted. Thank you for watching. Like and comment. Subscribe.